What is up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. If you don't know me, my name is Ishaan. I'm a first year PhD student in Planetary Sciences at Purdue. And welcome to this weekly, and welcome to another weekly log where I talk about some of my learnings from the past week of going through the PhD program, working on my research, just extracting learnings throughout this process so I can reflect on them later on in the future, but also reflect on them now to see, okay, like what can I continue to keep doing better? And hopefully this gives you an idea of what my process looks like. Hopefully you can derive some learnings from it, or might just be entertaining for you to see me talk shit out on camera. Whatever it is, I'm glad you're here, and let's just dive right into the learnings, because in the past videos, my videos are like 20 minutes, and I'm like, damn, like it's and that's when like I'm trying to just rush through it because I go over like recap things that I'm gonna work on, blah blah blah, and I just feel like that's a lot of details that other people or maybe you are not necessarily interested in, and it might just be more of the learnings. If you are interested in other stuff too, though, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to include some of that as well. But let's head into the three learnings for this week. The first one being, own up to your mistakes. You're only human. You're bound to let things slip up, or something might just slip through the cracks. Like, it's research, it's extremely technical, and it's very likely that you'll encounter such a situation at least once if you are in a technical field. But what you need to understand is that it's completely normal to make mistakes because you're human. You're human, dude. And the best next step is to own up to that mistake and say, I made a mistake, that was my bad, I'm gonna be mindful of this moving forward, and I'm gonna correct that shit and return that back to you. Like, that's the right approach to take. Don't try to press the mistake down or like try to hide it in any way, because trust me, that's not gonna work out. Like, I'm trying to think, I haven't like fully experienced this in academia, but I have witnessed other people do this stuff in academia, and it's not good, dude. It's not a place that you want to be, because it affects your credibility down the line. Like, think of it this way, right? Like, if you try to hide a mistake or try to like bury it down now when you're in your PhD program, and it like makes it through the any sort of process or review process or anything, and it makes it into the paper or publication or a journal or anything like that, bro, 10 years later, if someone catches that mistake, every single thing you've done after that probably did not have a mistake, is going to be significantly affected. Like, your credibility is. And the reason why I thought of this learning was because when I was doing some quantum chemical calculations for my project from summer 2024, where I was trying to look at the Gibbs energies of different hypothetical structures. I was supposed to apply a Gibbs free energy correction for reaction energies specifically, because of how the concentrations are handled in the simulation versus how they would reflect in real life. And I can go into the technical details if you want me to, but I'm gonna spare you on that. And I did not do those corrections, which means that my reaction energies were not accurate to the simulations that we came from, and to the point that we're trying to drive in the manuscript. And after I realized that, because my advisor mentioned it in the paper, I was like, fuck, dude, like, what do I do now? And as anyone would, I did. The email came, I was like, all right, so that's something that I need to do. I just need to figure out, okay, what it is that I need to do, how I'm gonna do it. And I swear to God, bro, I wasted no time. Like, literally the next day or like the day after, I got to it right away. I solved the issue, and I figured out how I'm gonna do the corrections and stuff. And then the following day, I ended up doing the corrections, and then I emailed, and I think a couple of days after that, I emailed back my advisor saying, yo, past manuscript did not have the corrections. Thanks for pointing that out. They are corrected now, so whatever I'm gonna send you next is gonna have the corrected energies. And that's the bro. And he was like, yeah, cool. Just make sure to double check. Like, I'm like, whoa, That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to own up to your mistakes, and you're supposed to rectify the mistakes and keep fucking going. That's how it is. Don't try to bury it and just own up to it, bro. Humans, trust. The second thing, which kind of connects to this, is I'm realizing, dude, a PhD continues to humble the fuck out of me, bro. Continues to humble the shit out of me. Like, I feel like there's certain days where I'm like, wow, I'm doing so good. I've learned so much, and I'm doing such fulfilling and exciting work. And then there comes those times where, like, damn, like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't even know even the slightest bit that this can affect what I'm doing or something like that. But one of the things that I'm thinking of from this learning, though, which is a very simple thing, and I feel so, oh man, I feel kind of weird expressing this. I got a very simple question wrong on a quiz in my class. And the thing is that it wasn't a critical thinking question. It was a memorization question. And the thing is that we were supposed to know that, okay, we had to read 2 papers, and the papers are talking about the ice albedo feedback on habitable planets, which includes learning astronomy stuff and learning about stellar influx and stellar input. And that means you need to know the different types of stars to know the kind of wavelengths that they're emitting for the most part, because that's going to affect how the ice albedo feedback works on habitable planets. And I completely switched M dwarfs and F dwarf stars, like completely. The paper asked about M dwarfs, and I wrote about F dwarfs, or sorry, the quiz. I was like, fuck. Like, that's such an easy question. Like, how can you get that wrong, bro? So I'm continuing to be humbled by my PhD program, even with the simplest of shit sometimes. And you know, that's good. It tells you that there's certain aspects that you need to continue working on, and that means that I need to make sure that I memorize the basics and ingrain them in my brain. But the thing with this topic of issue is also just that I'm not super interested in the material that's in the class. Like, that's not applicable for my research. And if I keep thinking that, though, then I'll just be detached from the class completely. So I can't go in with that mindset. I can't go in with that perspective. I have to go in with the perspective that I'm here to learn, and I'm here to figure out, okay, if something didn't work out, or if something that I did was not up to expectations or up to par, what do I need to do better? And then you take that, the idea behind this is that when you go through hard situations, you're deriving certain learnings and skill sets that are then becoming part of your natural programming, so you can take that and then apply them in the areas that are actually important to you, so you can become significantly better in the areas that you enjoy and are passionate about. The third and the last learning I want to go over is, bro, science comms. Oh fuck, you gotta be kidding me, bro. This whole time the thing wasn't on. I hope that this makes a difference. But I'm just gonna post the video. I don't give a fuck. I already recorded it. The last thing I wanted to hit on was science communications is extremely important, because scientists do research in a very technical and specific way, and you have to do it. You have to do it that way because that's the scientific process. And the thing is that we don't understand everything perfectly at all, so we have to employ critical thinking, make assumptions, and do certain maneuvers around things that you have to get around and still get your analyses right. Which, when you publish a paper on it in a journal, it's, like I said, extremely technical, and it's meant for a technical audience that's going to be able to understand this stuff, that already has a background in it and is interested in this kind of stuff. It's not geared towards the general public, but your science is only as good as how well you're able to communicate it to the general public. Or that's what I believe personally, because if you're not able to simply explain your stuff, then I have to ask myself, like, do I really understand it to the bone, to the T, like in depth? If I'm not able to explain it in simplistic terms to someone that's not in science. And I just think that it's a crucial part that I've been working towards, and that's one of the reasons why I've also been recording videos, so I can naturally talk about science stuff and get more practice with that. So in the future, I'm at a position, I'm at a place that I can communicate that to the larger audience, like literally the world. And I just think it's a very important thing. And regardless of whether you're on the presenter end or the receiving end, it's a responsibility of keeping an open mind, being understanding, and being open to communicating findings without inserting too much bias in it. Of course, as humans, we have some bias to begin with. So, like I said, you have to just minimize the bias. That is where I think I can wrap up the video. We're already almost 11 minutes in. So if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I really hope that you got something out of these learnings and self-reflection process that I'm going through. And if there's certain experiences that you were thinking about when you watched this video, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, I will catch you in the next video.